Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be walking you through a possible solution for question 5 in the practice activities for chapter 4, section 1, which is on supertypes and subtypes. So we will just jump right in and I'll start by reading the instructions we are given for this question. This says, read the following scenario and construct an ERD that contains at least 2 subtypes of the entity product. Show clearly which attributes belong to the entity supertype and which belong to the subtypes. Identify a UID for the entity. Now, right off the bat, we are given the supertype, which is product. I have it over here already. Now, you'll notice that a lot of the time, the supertype isn't very descriptive, doesn't give you a lot of information, and that's a good thing because we're supposed to get more specific with the subtypes. So, we will just jump right into this question and I will read the scenario all the way through. It says, our shop sells several kinds of women's clothing, including dresses, skirts, and blouses. Of course, each product has a name, description, and a price. Oh, and sizes too. All products have a waist size. Dresses and skirts have a hem length, but blouses don't. Dresses and blouses have a chest size, but skirts don't. Now, it was kind of an information overload. A lot of information thrown at you right at once, but it's not going to turn into an information hurricane because we're just going to jump right in and we're going to walk through how to solve this question. So first we're going to focus on the supertype because it is the first bit of information we get. Now, in this scenario, it doesn't specify a UID, but a UID is easy enough to create. And since it's going to apply to every subtype, we're going to list it under the supertype section. We will just call this UID product ID. Easy enough. We are already partway done with this question. So, next, we want to start identifying some attributes before we even worry about these subtypes. Now, it says that every product has a name, a description, and a price. So that means that every one of the subtypes are going to have those things. So we're going to list those attributes in the supertype section, and they're going to be mandatory. So we have name, description, and price. But then it says, oh, by the way, everything has a waist size. So that's also going to go there, waist size, and we need to know that because we don't want to have to hold up every product and go, that one's bigger than that one. It's just easier if you have a size, so that is also mandatory. So now we're going to talk about these other attributes. It says that dresses and skirts have a hem length and dresses and blouses have a chest size. Now, what we could do is we could list these attributes in the product supertype and just give them values of null for the subtypes that they don't apply to, but clearly not every single product has a hem length or a chest size. So we're not going to list these attributes under the supertype. We're going to save them for the subtypes. So in the first sentence, it tells us that the kinds of women's clothing that this shop sells include dresses, skirts, and blouses. So those are our subtypes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by, listing our subtypes. We have dresses, skirts, and blouses. Now, I am including a 4th subtype of other, and that is because you never know when there's going to be another product that doesn't necessarily fit into any of these categories, into these subtypes. So the other category is there just to pick up the slack in case that happens. And you don't have to include it in your ERD, but for this example, we are going to include it. So, we have to work with the attributes hem length and chest size. Now, it says that dresses have a hem length and a chest size. So what we're going to do is we're going to list those as attributes under the subtype dress. And they're both mandatory because, again, it's easier to know the size than to have to hold it up and say, oh, which one's bigger? And then it says that skirts have a hem length, but not a chest size, so it has an attribute of hem length, and that blouses have a chest size. So there we have our attributes for each of these subtypes here. Now, we're going to use this information to construct our ERD in Lucidchart, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I already have our product supertype set up here, and I just did that by dragging this block shape over here and then putting the information into it and sizing it to the correct size so that it can contain all of these subtypes. Now, to create your subtypes, you're just going to use this same block shape. It's probably about the easiest way to do it, and you're going to have to do a little bit of formatting, but it's nothing too bad. And so we'll just start by creating our first subtype of dress. And I'm going to make that smaller. And then what you can do is finish formatting, and then you can resize it so that it's not like super big, so that it's visually pleasing, you know, like so. And then instead of having to do that all over again and reformat, we can just copy and paste and then just put the information in for the next subtype. Now, you can copy and paste it the way I did, or you can select it and hit Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste on Windows, or Command-C, Command-V on Mac. Whatever works best for you, it doesn't matter. And so we'll just finish putting our subtypes into this box. And there you go. We've used all this information and created our ERD in Lucidchart. It looks just like the examples in the chapter. And again, the attributes listed under the supertype product apply to every subtype within this supertype. But these attributes listed within the subtypes only apply to the subtypes they are listed beneath. So, dresses have a hem length and a chest size, but skirts don't have a chest size just because it's listed under dress. So, there is your complete ERD for question 5. I hope this was helpful to you. Have a marvelous rest of your day or evening or whatever time you're watching this.